Did you know some of your favorite foods were created by mistake? Today we're counting down 20 delicious foods that were invented by accident. Each story proves that sometimes, the best recipes come from the most unexpected places. If you love food facts, make sure to subscribe for more. Now let's get to the accidents. Our first story whisks us back to the bustling summer of 1853, at the famous Moon's Lake House in Saratoga Springs, New York. This lakeside restaurant was a popular destination for wealthy vacationers seeking good food and relaxation. In the kitchen, Chef George Crumb faced a challenge. A notoriously picky customer kept sending back his fried potatoes, complaining they were too thick and soggy. Frustrated but determined, Crumb decided to slice the potatoes as thin as possible, fry them until they were golden and crisp, and then shower them with salt. Expecting the customer to be annoyed by this bold move, Crumb was surprised when the guest actually loved the new creation. The thin, crunchy potatoes were unlike anything anyone had tasted before, and soon, word began to spread. Before long, other diners at Moon's Lake House were clamoring for these Saratoga chips, eager to try the chef's accidental masterpiece for themselves. What began as a sarcastic gesture to appease a difficult customer quickly transformed into a sensation, and eventually, the world's favorite snack, potato chips, was born. Sometimes, a little attitude and creativity in the kitchen can lead to the most unexpected and delicious results. It's a classic case of kitchen karma, where a moment of frustration sparked a crunchy revolution enjoyed by millions today. Fast forward to 1905, in the bustling city of San Francisco, where innovation and curiosity filled the air. 11-year-old Frank Epperson, always eager to experiment, decided to mix soda powder and water together, hoping to create a delicious homemade drink. He stirred it with a wooden stick, but as evening fell, he left his cup outside on the porch and completely forgot about it. Overnight, the temperature dropped unexpectedly. The mixture froze solid, stick and all, transforming the simple drink into something entirely new. The next morning, Frank discovered his forgotten cup. To his amazement, he pulled out a frozen treat on a stick, the first of its kind. Excited by his accidental creation, he called it the Epsicle. Over time, the name changed to the now famous Popsicle. For years, Frank made these frozen treats for his friends and family, sharing the joy of his chilly discovery on hot summer days. In 1923, realizing its potential, Frank patented his invention, ensuring his childhood accident would be remembered for generations. What began as a simple mistake became a beloved summer staple, enjoyed by millions around the world. Sometimes the sweetest inventions come from the most unexpected moments, proving that forgetting can be the best ingredient of all. Whitman, Massachusetts, 1930s. Ruth Wakefield ran out of Baker's chocolate for her cookies. She chopped up a Nestle chocolate bar, expecting it to melt into the dough. Instead, the pieces stayed gooey and intact. Customers loved the new Toll House Crunch cookie. Nestle printed her recipe on their packaging, and chocolate chip cookies became an American classic. A simple substitution changed dessert forever. Necessity really is the mother of invention. In 1898, the Kellogg brothers at Battle Creek Sanitarium left boiled wheat sitting out for days. Instead of tossing it, they rolled it out and discovered it broke into flakes. Baked, these flakes were light and crispy. They switched to corn, added malt, and cornflakes were born. A forgotten pot led to a breakfast revolution. Sometimes neglect is the secret ingredient. Breakfast was never the same. St. Louis World's Fair, 1904. An ice cream vendor ran out of dishes. Neighboring vendor Ernest Hamwee rolled his waffle-like pastry into a cone. Ice cream was served in the edible cone, and customers loved it. The ice cream cone became an instant hit. A quick-thinking neighbor created a summer icon. Crisis breeds creativity and deliciousness. 18th century England. The Earl of Sandwich wanted to eat without leaving his card game. He asked for meat between two slices of bread. It was practical, clean, and soon everyone wanted the same as sandwich. Thus, the sandwich was born, not in a kitchen but at the gaming table. Sometimes convenience creates a classic. 1930s, Beloit, Wisconsin. At an animal feed factory, moistened corn puffed up in the grinder. Edward Wilson took the puffs home, added cheese powder and baked them. The result, crunchy, cheesy snacks. Corn curls became the prototype for cheese puffs. Factory waste turned into a snack sensation. One man's trash, another man's cheesy treasure. Accidents can be delicious. La Motte Bouvron, France. Stephanie Tatine overcooked apples in caramel, then covered them with pastry and baked. She flipped the pan, revealing a glistening upside-down tart. Guests loved it. The tarte tatin was born. A distracted chef created a French classic. Sometimes mistakes are the main course. Sweet serendipity. 1830s, Worcester, England. Chemists Leah and Perrins tried to recreate an Indian sauce. Their first batch was inedible, so they stored it in the cellar and forgot about it. Years later, they tasted it again. Fermentation had transformed it into something delicious. Worcestershire sauce was born. A failed experiment became a global staple. Sometimes time is the best chef. Forgotten flavors can become favorites. Mesopotamia, 10,000 BC. Early humans left grain mash out, wild yeast fermented it. The result? Beer. A forgotten pot led to the world's first happy hour. Fermentation turned a mistake into a celebration. Humanity's oldest accidental invention. Cheers to ancient serendipity. Central Asia, thousands of years ago. Nomads stored milk in animal stomach pouches. Enzymes, heat, and motion curdled the milk into yogurt. It tasted good and lasted longer than fresh milk. Yogurt was born from forgetfulness and necessity. Preservation through accident. Sometimes the road leads to a new food. 1943, Piedras Negras, Mexico. Ignacio Nacho Anaya improvised for hungry guests with tortilla chips, cheese, and jalapenos. He broiled them and served nachos especiales. The dish was an instant hit. Nachos spread across Texas and beyond. Quick thinking and limited ingredients created a legend. Necessity is the mother of nachos. 16th century Holland. Dutch merchants distilled wine to save space on ships. The concentrated burnt wine aged in barrels, developing new flavors. It was too good to dilute. Brandy was born. A shipping solution became a sipping sensation. Sometimes practicality leads to pleasure. Cheers to accidental spirits. 1950s Kansas. Omar Knedlick's soda fountain broke, so he froze sodas for customers. The result, icy, slushy drinks. Customers loved them and the IC was born. 7-Eleven rebranded it as the Slurpee. A broken machine launched a frozen empire. Sometimes a malfunction is a breakthrough. Brain freeze never tasted so good. Ancient Egypt. A baker left dough out. Wild yeast fermented it. The dough rose, creating the first leavened bread. Sourdough was born from a forgotten batch. Airborne magic changed baking forever. Sometimes the best rise is unplanned. Bread became a miracle. Roquefort, France. A shepherd left bread and cheese in a cave. Mold from the bread transformed the cheese into blue-veined Roquefort. Hunger overcame caution, and a new cheese was born. A forgotten lunch became a delicacy. Sometimes mold is marvelous. Blue cheese owes its bite to a daydream. Champagne, France, 17th century. Cold winters halted wine fermentation. Spring restarted it in the bottle, causing explosions. Winemakers called it the devil's wine. The English developed stronger bottles and embraced the fizz. Champagne was born from a flaw, not a plan. Bubbles became a symbol of celebration. Sometimes the problem is the party. Cheers to sparkling mistakes. 19th century Germany. A cook accidentally used mayonnaise instead of oil and vinegar on warm potatoes. The result, creamy cold potato salad. The dish spread to America and became a picnic staple. A simple mix-up created a classic. Mistakes can be delicious. Sometimes confusion is the recipe. Early 20th century. Hikers combined leftover nuts, dried fruit, and chocolate for convenience. The result, trail mix. It provided energy and variety on the go. A practical solution became a hiking essential. Sometimes the best snacks are improvised. The ultimate trailblazer's treat. Ancient vineyards. Grapes left in the sun shriveled into raisins. What looked spoiled was actually sweet and chewy. Raisins became a way to preserve the harvest. Nature's candy was an accident. Sometimes the sun is the chef. Forgotten fruit, lasting sweetness. There you have it, 20 tales of culinary chaos turned classics. From the humblest kitchen slip-ups to the most unexpected moments of inspiration, these stories remind us that the world of food is full of surprises. These stories prove that some of the best foods come from mistakes, mishaps, and moments of inspiration. Sometimes, what seems like a disaster can turn into a delicious discovery that changes the way we eat forever. Next time you enjoy a nacho, a cookie, or any of your favorite treats, take a moment to appreciate the happy accidents behind them. Or when you raise a glass of champagne, remember, you're tasting history and celebrating the creativity that comes from embracing the unexpected. Don't fear the kitchen blunder, embrace it. Every mistake is a chance to learn, to laugh, and maybe even to invent something new. The greatest discoveries often start with a happy accident. Some of the world's most beloved dishes were born from a moment of curiosity or a simple error. Stay curious and eat well. Let your taste buds lead you on new adventures, and don't be afraid to try something different. Who knows what your next mistake might create? The next great food story could start in your own kitchen.